everybody, welcome to episode 4 of the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast. My name is Jacqueline. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as @JacquelineSalem, and my graphic design website is www.jacquelinesalem.com if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for coming back if you are a returning viewer, and if this is your first time watching, thank you so much for checking me out. I'm a graphic designer living in Brooklyn, New York City, and I have a penchant for all things crafty, creative, you name it. Happy New Year! I'm back in New York City after a long trip of hanging out. Well, it felt way too short actually, but after a trip of hanging out with my family in Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I'm originally from. And yeah, it was wonderful. I spent time with my mom, my sister, and my dad, gave them Christmas presents of knitty things, of course. And yeah, it was just really, really great. So back in New York, I have 2 cats. If they come around and want to hang out with us and be co-hosts or meow at us, I'll go get them. But for now, let's jump right in. So we're going to start with finished objects, and I have a lot this time. I guess, obviously because I haven't been working, I've had so much more time to just devote to all of my creative projects. Unfortunately, a lot of them are ones are kind of lame because I don't have to actually show you anymore, which is unfortunate, but I will try to insert pictures that I've taken of the finished objects whenever possible at the relevant times whenever I bring them up. So the first one is, if you've seen in the previous episodes, I've been knitting on the Guernsey wrap, which is a pattern by Jared Flood of Brooklyn Tweed. Oh, hi kitty. I got a co-host. This is Jafar. He's a total sweetheart baby. Anyway, the Guernsey wrap, patterned by Jared Flood. I cannot say his name today. Jared Flood of Brooklyn Tweed. It was knit out of Quince & Co. Lark in the Kumlien's Gull colorway. It was a Christmas present for my sister. I did give it to her already, so I can't show you the finished object in person, but I will insert a picture here of it. I absolutely loved the pattern. It turned out so beautiful, although by the end I was really, really ready for that thing to be done. It blocked out huge. It called for really aggressive blocking, and I probably blocked it too aggressively, truth be told. I think the finished dimensions were supposed to be somewhere in the realm of like 70 to 80 inches or something like that, and I blocked it out. When I finished and dried it and measured it, it was 102 inches. But because the Quince & Co. Lark is such a high twist yarn, I guess, or has, not high twist, it's, because it has so many plies. I think it was like a 4-ply yarn or something like that. I can't remember exactly because I don't have it in front of me, but the stitch definition was incredible on it. So even though I blocked it pretty aggressively, you could still see the pattern really well. So I highly, if you're gonna knit the Guernsey wrap, I do recommend using Quince & Co. if you haven't tried it before or interested in it. I think it was perfect for the pattern. Super soft. She really liked it. Excited for her to open it. And yeah. It looked a lot more complicated than it actually is. Everybody that I showed it to was, there's like different sections of the scarf, and every section has a different texture within the scarf, and like a window kind of per se. And everybody who saw it looked like really intricate and complicated, but it was just knits and purls, so it was pretty simple, honestly. So yeah, if you're looking for a scarf to knit, that would be a good one. It's also pretty unisex. I tend to gravitate personally towards patterns that are kind of more simple or unisex in their design. Not typically a florally person, but or lacy, but it can make exceptions for anything. So yeah, Guernsey wrap, first finished object. The second thing I knit, which I also don't have, is just another pair of the simple house slippers. I've shown the navy ones on a previous episode that I was knitting for my dad, and then the purple ones that I knit for my mom in an episode before that. So it's a really great pattern if you're just looking for some house slippers. I know several podcasters are knitting them right now, so if you're interested and want to give it a go, it's a great pattern. It's free from templeofknit.com. And yeah, so another pair of simple house slippers. I'll insert a picture here. Again, sorry that I don't have these to actually show you, but they're in Tennessee with their owners now. And my dad wore the slippers several times while I was at home, so that was kind of exciting and fun to see. The next finished object, which I actually have, is the Doodler. And this is it. It's just short of my wingspan. It's like almost my wingspan. And this is the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West. This part right here, I've mentioned this plenty of times on previous episodes, but just in case you're new, this speckled part here is by Hedgehog Fibres. It's called Monarch. This bright highlighter pink is called Neon Peach. And then the edging is, the blue one, is called Flying Atlas by the Plucky Knitter. And then of course Neon Peach again there, and I striped it. Things to say about this. I have mixed emotions about this pattern, honestly, if I'm being real. I had a lot of troubles picking out yarns in the first place, as you can see by my design feature here. I really like Clue 1. Clue 1 is my favorite part of the shawl. And even Clue 2 was nice, I guess. I mean, it was okay. At least I learned how to do cables, I guess is what I should say. I do wish that I had skipped the third color for the edging on it, because I just think it's just too much for me. And I know it's a Stephen West pattern and that's kind of how he does his thing, but I just think that it would have looked better if it was just two colors, like if I had done the edge in just the pink or the neon peach, I guess. It is really big, it's really soft, it's comfortable, it's a lot of ways to wear it. Yeah, I don't know. I like it more now that I've blocked it. I was not so keen on it when I finished knitting it, but I think it looks a lot better after blocking. And if, you know, if you're a new knitter and watching this, and I'm a new knitter too, but if you're a new knitter and you're not blocking your finished objects, just try it, because it makes a huge difference to your finished objects. What, kitty? Do you want to wear it? Mika's begging to be on the podcast, aren't you? Yeah. This is Mika, my other sweet baby. Not so sweet to everybody though, but she's sweet to me. Not that you can tell right now. Anyway, back to the Doodler. Yeah, I like it a lot better after blocking. Again, I wish I kind of just stuck with the neon peach for all of this instead of using the blue. I just think it's too many colors. But overall, I'm happy with it because I learned a lot from knitting this pattern. So now I feel much more confident about taking on other projects that I may have not done otherwise. Not that I'm usually intimidated by things that are outside of my current skill scope, because I figure I can just watch other YouTube videos or ask friends if I need help with something. So yes, the Doodler, Stephen West, that's what it looks like. Yay! So that's the third finished object. My fourth finished object. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this on an episode or not before, but my sister and her husband found out 3 months ago that they are pregnant. So I'm so excited because I'm going to be an aunt, and that means that I can make all the things for the baby. So the first thing, I just kind of looked up a Booties pattern on Ravelry, and this was the first thing I could come up with. I think they turned out super cute. They're not really for a newborn. I think they're a little bit too big for a newborn, but they'll fit at some point. So cute. I made this out of Plymouth Galway Worsted. It's the same yarn that I used for the Simple House slippers for my dad. Plymouth yarns, by the way, there's an art supply store close to me that stocks a lot of Plymouth yarns. Sorry, one second, my cat is going crazy. Alright, got co-host on my lap now. Anyway, as I was saying, There is a art supply store close to me that stocks a lot of Plymouth yarns, and they're in acrylic stuff too, but the Plymouth yarns are the only ones that are 100% wool. So in a pinch, when I just like want to grab something that's not, you know, like Madeline, Tosh, or nicer stuff from like Pearl Soho or something, in a pinch I'll just go grab some some Plymouth yarns from this art supply store. And I gotta say, like, I have no qualms about using Plymouth yarns. I think it's good workhorse yarn. It's affordable and inexpensive. It gets the job done, I think. So if you're looking for just like, you know, an inexpensive yarn that's still 100% wool, so you're not using acrylic, I would give Plymouth yarns a try. I've used them now in about, I don't know, probably 4 projects now. Like my Pearl Soho herringbone cowl was a Plymouth yarn. Both of the Simple House slippers that I've knit, these booties. So yeah, I think that, you know, I think it's definitely worth a shot for just trying out, or if you don't want to spend a lot of money on yarn. I mean, I feel like too, knitted up, it's so much softer than how it kind of feels in the skein. I think I could even wear a sweater knit out of something like this. So I'll kind of keep that in mind for future, you know, especially big projects where I just don't have the funds to, you know, honestly, realistically buy, you know, more expensive, better yarn. So yeah, Plymouth yarns, I like them. So yeah, baby booties. I can't remember the exact pattern right now, but it was a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll put the links in the down bar below so you can check it out if you're interested in making any. So yeah, that's the first pair of baby booties. More to come, I'm sure. Other things I have in mind that I can't wait to make for my upcoming future niece or nephew. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. We find out in February, so that will make, you know, make it easier, I guess, to pick out patterns. Although I say that, and again, like I said, I tend to gravitate more towards unisex objects anyway, so I don't really know if that will make a huge difference. The next thing, so remember that skein, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this, but that skein of Madeline Tosh Optic that I showed you guys last week, it's my favorite skein that I've purchased to date. It's a vintage colorway, again called Optic, cream color, kind of whitish with specks of navy and black, and then little flecks of like brown and red, very intermittently dispersed. Not so much in there, but yeah, mostly speckled blue and black. Favorite skein purchased to date, and I knew I wanted to make a hat out of it, but I didn't know which one. After scouring Ravelry late into the night while I was at home, I found a pattern called the Facets hat by, let me look at my notes here, by Beck. I thought it was perfect. There hadn't been very many of them knit yet, so I couldn't really tell, like, I had a feeling that the speckled yarn was not going to be the best for it. Here, I'll just show you the hat. So, hold on. Alright, this is the hat, the finished object. I have been wearing this thing nonstop, by the way. I love it. Hold on, let me take it off one more time and show you the little diamond patterns. So yeah, you can see that there. Yeah. Alright, so let me put it on while I tell you about it. So again, called the Facets hat by Beck. Speckled yarns probably, admittedly, are not the best yarn for this pattern. That doesn't really bother me so much though, because I didn't want just kind of like a plain stockinette hat. I kind of wanted something with a little more texture to it. So, and it was fun to knit besides, so it was okay with me. I do think a tonal yarn would probably, or a solid, be the best to show off the pattern. But I still love how it came out. If you've never knit any, like a hat with Madeline Tosh, like worsted weight before, I would really recommend it. It is the squishiest, like softest thing softest hat I've ever had in my head, ever. It's so soft and comfortable to wear. I remember my first hat that I made that I showed a long time ago. It was made in a Bernat alpaca blend, and it's a really squishy yarn, but after wearing it like a couple times, I get itchy when I wear it, so I think I must be kind of sensitive to alpaca, which is a shame because it's so soft when you touch it. So I don't know if maybe it's because it's 100%, like maybe blends wouldn't be so bad, but after that one was, you know, bugging me, I knew I needed to make a new one. So this is kind of what I came up with for that. I love the pattern so much. Like I said, Madeline Tosh Optic. On her worsted, it's a single ply yarn. I love working with single ply yarns, especially after working with the Hedgehog Fibres and the Neon Peach, which are also single ply yarns. I just really enjoy the final fabric that it makes. It's not the easiest, I would say, to actually knit with and work with. I feel like, you know, twisted yarns are easier to pick up and they don't, you know, I don't split into them or anything like that, but the fabric that single plies makes are by far my favorite so far. So this is single ply. Love how it turned out. Sorry if you can hear my cats running around playing with little balls. I apologize, but they're not to be stopped tonight or right now. Anyway, so yeah. It's knit on size 6 needles for the brim, 7 for the body. And if I knit it again, which I am knitting it again, so I'll show you in a second, I would recommend going down a needle size. I usually even tend to knit a bit tightly, although, that's something I forgot to mention. With all of this garter stitch on the Doodler, I've been working out ways of trying to increase my speed and different ways of tensioning the yarn. With knit stitches, I've got it down. I still am a English style knitter, throw with my right hand, but I'm like tensioning the yarn in different ways now than I was previously, and I can knit so quickly now. Purling, on the other hand, is still not so fast, like it's still kind of slow like I was doing it before, but anyway, because I'm tensioning the yarn differently, the, sorry, let me get that toy, one second. Okay, sorry about that. Just didn't want you guys to be able to hear all that noise. So because I'm tensioning my yarn differently, my gauge has really loosened up. So I don't know, I haven't like been knitting a lot of projects since I finished the Doodler, so I can't say like if that is like consistent to all of my new projects now, but from what I can tell from this and looking at projects on the project page, this is pretty loose. So I, for future reference, would probably go down to a size 5 on the ribbing and a size 6 for the body. Not that it bothers me. I mean, I like slouchier hats anyway, but you know, if I pull this all the way down, it's a little bit big. I can also, you know, still flip it up and stuff though if I wanted to also. So yeah, I think I want to get a fur pom-pom to put on top of it, one of those faux fur pom-poms, so I think that will look cute on it, but I haven't decided because I wear it all the time and I really like it as is as well. So that's the Facets hat by Rose Beck. My last finished object. This is a big one. It's really, really special to me. So if you have seen, I think 2 episodes ago now, episode 2, I showed you guys my quilt top. And it was always the plan that I was going to have it finished by my aunt's friend, who is like a master quilter. She's amazing at what she does and so fast. So I finished the top. I gave my aunt's friend the rest of the supplies. A few days later, it's ready. You guys, I'm so excited. Look at this. I can't believe it. I can't really back out very far in the frame, so it's hard to show all of it. I'll try to insert a picture of it if I can, because I have a couple of, you know, me holding it in my parents' backyard. That's it. I'm just in love with it. The edging is this white border, and she did kind of like this feather quilting on the border. The binding is like this kind of reddish orange speckly border, or binding, I mean. All of the colors are kind of like these dustier tones, lots of reds and navies, and then kind of like these pops of, you know, like teal and yellow, so I kind of have these pops of neon in it. I'm in love. The backing fabric is this kind of astronomy constellations print. I think what I love most about this, sorry, let me just open my notes again. What I love most about this is that it doesn't just feel like my accomplishment. It's, you know, it's my grandmother's accomplishment because she taught me how to sew. It's my dad's accomplishment because he troubleshooted my sewing growing up. It's my mom's accomplishment because she helped me pick out the fabrics. It's my aunt's because of her guidance. You know, it's just so many people that helped make this what it is. And it's just really exciting to feel a part of something bigger than me and to have made something that I know that I will pass down to, you know, future generations, you know, my children if I have them, you know, or, you know, whatever. So it's a really special finished object for me. I have it on my bed. Originally, I thought for about 30 seconds. My cat is like determined to get this toy. He won't leave it alone. Anyway, I thought for about 30 seconds about putting it on a quilt rack or something like that, but it's I just want to use it. So it's been on my bed ever since. It's a little crazy for a bedspread for me. I mean, normally I have a white bedspread now, so I'm not sure if I'll keep it or how long I will, but for now, I just want to enjoy it. You know, I just snuggle up to it. That's what I've been doing. I can't remember the name of the pattern, honestly. It's been on, this is like a 5 years, no joke, work in progress. So I honestly have no idea. But yeah, that's it. Quilt. So yeah, that concludes my finished objects section. Like I said, there was a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have all of them to show you, but you get the general idea. And if you've seen previous episodes, then you can see the things like the Guernsey wrap and other simple house slippers, etc. So now we're going to move into works in progress. And like I mentioned, I already have the finished Facets hat, but I decided to make another one. This one's going to be a gift, and I won't say for who, because I'm not sure if she watches the podcast, but it's knit in this moss green color. I already had this in stash. It's a Plymouth Homestead yarn. I think it's technically Aran weight. And I didn't go down a needle size, so this one's probably going to be even bigger than the other one. But I've held it up to this one, and technically it looks like it's smaller. So maybe this Madeline Tosh is just really big, or it's been stretching out since I've been wearing it. I don't know for sure, but yes, I think this, like I said, this pattern really does shine best on tonal or solids. So that's kind of where I am right now. I have one more repeat of the chart. Well, it's not really a chart, it's a written pattern, but I have one more repeat of the written pattern to finish before I start the decreases for it. This yarn is really squishy. Again, good workhorse yarn. It's not as soft as the Madeline Tosh, of course, but it's not like scratchy or anything. So yeah, Plymouth Homestead in the moss colorway. So that is the first work in progress. Second work in progress, because I've cast off all of these objects, I've had lots of time to work on my Syrma Shawl. And the Syrma Shawl, and I love the pattern, and I love the yarn. It's knit in Voolenvine's Gashlycrumb colorway. It's just like this browns, variegated browns with hints of flexive like navy and I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, chartreuse, some red, like darkish browns. Yeah, it's a gorgeous cashmere blend of yarn. Merino, nylon cashmere, maybe an MCN, I think. I'll put it in the show notes. Anyway, love the yarn, love the pattern. The finished object pattern, that is. Knitting it is, I have to say, not the most, it's not mindless. You have to pay attention. Like every other row is a lot of counting, and it's different every row too. And it's nothing that really kind of makes sense as far as I'm concerned. So last time I showed you, I was on where my little flamingo stitch marker is. So I've knit a little bit further on it. It's kind of described as a raining stars pattern, so I'm starting to get into like those textured stitches. I'm not sure if that's gonna show up, but anyway, there you have it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really nice when it's finished, and I've had a lot of time to work on it, like I said, because I haven't cast anything else on recently because I'm gonna be casting on a big project here in a little bit. But I'm loving how the yarn is working up into it. I just love getting to those little flecks of chartreuse and navy. It's beautiful. Again, that's the Syrma Shawl. I'm gonna butcher her name, but it's Calo Bérangère. Sorry, it's a French pattern. It's knit on size 5 needles, which I have to say almost everything in my queue is size 5 needles, so it's kind of a shame. I think I'm gonna have to get another pair because it's taking me so long to make this. This is one of the first, I've cast this on a long time ago. I wanna say, I don't know, October, something like that. So I don't work on it very often. I kind of honestly avoid it because of all the counting involved. I can't wait to have the finished object, and I will finish it, but it's just kind of not something I can do while mindlessly watching television. Yeah, that's kind of how it's working out. I'm not even halfway through yet. There are like 4 charts and I'm about halfway through the second one. So it's very soft. It keeps rolling in on itself because of, it's kind of sort of stockinette, but not stockinette, but with the stars kind of introduced into it. So it keeps like rolling in on itself while I knit it, which is kind of annoying, but it's the nature of the stockinette beast. So that is my second work in progress. Upcoming whips that I will be having on the needle soon. So new year, new cast on, and I decided it's time for me to knit my first sweater. I've been going back and forth between Michelle Wong's Ondawa pattern and Nora Gaughan's Deschutes pattern. I'm going to insert 2 pictures side by side here so you can see them. Michelle Wong's pattern is quite a bit more difficult. It's like, I think Brooklyn Tweed says it's about a 4 out of 5 on the difficulty rating, which is fine. Again, like, yes, I'm, only been knitting for about half a year, but I don't know, difficulty doesn't really intimidate me. Things are only difficult until you learn how to do them in knitting, and I'll figure it out, So that's not really the deterrent. It's just, I think I'll get more wear out of the Deschutes pattern. The Deschutes is like, because it's more simple in nature, it's like one of those, how can I describe this? Ondawa is a garment, well, they're both garments, but Ondawa is like an outfit. It's like a dress. You can only wear the dress once every few weeks because it's weird and awkward if you wear the same dress every single day. But jeans, the Deschutes, you can wear every single day. So I kind of equate it in that way, that I feel like I'll get more wear out of the Deschutes pattern because it is more, it's not as, it's the jeans of sweaters. That's really the only way I know how to describe it. So that's the one I'm gonna knit. It's also a lot simpler. I think I will probably be getting a little bored with it toward the end, but that's okay, I think it's a very wearable sweater. I plan on, the sleeves are there's 3/4 inch sleeves, but I'm gonna knit them full length, and I kind of want to make the sweater a little more cropped than it is on the model. So yeah, I really like it. I'm excited to get started on it. I have got the yarn for it, and sorry for the crinkling. So I've decided to knit it out of Cascade 220, and this is the Walnut Heathers colorway. It was kind of between this or an olive, but in the end, I think the walnut, again, if it's the jeans of sweaters, I want it to be in a neutral color. I just really like neutrals, so that's the yarn I'm going to use for it. I bought all of those at Pearl Soho today, and I've ordered some Xiaogu needles to try out. It's the first Xiaogus I've ever had, so I'm excited to try out a new pair, so we'll see how it goes. Of course, I will gauge swatch. The pattern calls for Aran weight yarn, and this yarn, it looks a little, the sweater's a little too chunky for my personal taste. So I decided to get the worsted weight yarn. and I'm gonna knit it on a smaller needle but knit a larger size. So I'm not sure how much gauge is really going to matter in the gauge swatch that I do. What I think I'm really swatching more for is the fabric. So I'm going to knit it on a size, the pattern originally calls for a size 10.5. I'm going to try a 10, see if I like that fabric, but if it looks too much like I'd be wearing like a fish net or something, then I'll probably go down another needle size to like a 9 or something and see how I like that. So I know a lot of you might be screaming like, no, don't do that for your first sweater because you want a gauge swatch. And I get it, but I feel like the pattern is one that if it's oversized, it's fine. It's not gonna really, there's not really shaping for, you know, a feminine, you know, body for, you know, anything like that. So I think it'll be fine if it's a little oversized. That's not gonna bother me. Plus the pattern does have a lot of positive ease worked into it if you want to anyway. So I think it's gonna be okay. So yeah, the Deschutes pattern, so excited about that. And all the yarns, so excited. There's more in here, but you get the idea. Andawa by Michelle Wong will probably be my next sweater though. That's like the first sweater I ever wanted to make and I still dream about that sweater. So eventually that will get knit. It's just not right now because I think that that one's going to require a lot more attention and I can't just like watch TV and knit that. So, and with the Syrma Shawl going on right now, I think I have enough to have to count with. So after seeing how I've been knitting on that, I kind of know myself now. I don't want to take a whole year to knit one sweater. So let's just go with the Deschutes for now. So other upcoming works in progress. So as I was knitting my sister's Guernsey wrap, I had to order another skein of Lark Quince & Co yarn because I ran out. So they sent me this with it. It's like they're in my head. It's like they know my sister's pregnant or something. Are these not the cutest baby booties you have ever seen? I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. She or he is getting these baby booties. So they sell these in a kit, but I think I probably have some yarns in stash that I could use to whip these up, but these are definitely upcoming on the queue. Look how cute those are. So cute. Anyway, so those are Baby Duck Booties by Quince & Co. It's a Quince & Co pattern. Other upcoming projects, there are a few shawls that I want to knit. One of them is the Raven's Nest Shawl by Judy Marples. Another is the Voyage Shawl by Melanie Berg. And the other one is Exploration Station. So I've been slowly acquiring yarns for all of those over Christmas break. We'll just see what I feel like when we get to it. The Deschutes sweater is the first thing I'm going to cast on, and then I'll probably also cast on a shawl. So I'm kind of between the Raven's Nest or the Voyage Shawl right now because I just finished the Doodler. I kind of want to take a break from Stephen West patterns for now and just go for something else. So the next thing to show you, acquisitions. There are quite a few. All right, how are we gonna get through these? There are a lot. All right, the first acquisition, I guess maybe like one of the most exciting acquisitions. So I was heinously out of room in my current stash basket that I had, and it was like a little basket, like this big. So it was, of course, overflowing. So I was at TJ Maxx the other day, and I love TJ Maxx. I could spend over $100 every time I'm in there easily. And I found this. So as you can see, it's already full to the brim of my stash. This is my entire stash, not including tools and notions, but this is my entire yarn stash. Pretty respectable, I think. Not huge, not tiny. Oh, sorry, I'm losing stuff because as the nature of the wire basket. Okay. Wire basket, losing stuff. But I think the good thing about the wire basket is that I can see into it, so I can see what yarns I have. That way I kind of know what's in my stash. I honestly probably wouldn't have even, this was at the bottom of my stash for this work in progress, so I probably wouldn't have even found that if I hadn't switched over to this wire one. Anyway, so stash enhancement. I don't know if I really care about going in order, but so I'm not. I'm just going to pull out what I see. So I got these two. They're Patton's Classic Wool. This kind of marled gray and this red here. This looks like, I think I might make another pair of simple house slippers finally for myself out of this yarn and kind of do like a sock monkey style type of deal. But obviously they are kind of like sock monkey colors together, and my sister is gonna have a baby, so sock monkey stuff is on my mind. I'm not sure like if I'll make an actual sock monkey or something else, but I'm sure these will eventually get used. So that's what those are for. Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast in Voolenvine Yarns recently had a trunk show in early December, and before I left for home I couldn't leave without taking a skein. So I got this beautiful Stellar Banshee in her Smitten DK. It is a MCN Superwash Merino Nylon Cashmere 80-10-10. So it's a cashmere blend of yarn. It's got these really pretty flecks of pink and purple, some green, taupe color. I think this is just lovely. Again, that's Voolenvine Yarns on the Stellar Banshee base. Love this. Beautiful. The next one, I've been lusting after Camilla Fiber Company yarns. So when I saw that they are stocked at a local Nashville store when I was at home, I had to get one. So I got this one. It's called Plume, or not Plume, or CFC Plume is the base. It's called Birthday Cake. It's like this light pink with flecks of like darker pink, orange, and really light hints of navy speckles in it. It's 40% alpaca, 40% merino, 20% silk. Almost all of them had alpaca in the blend, so I guess I'll find out eventually if blended alpaca is not going to be as itchy, or if it's just because it was a hat. I don't know. I'm hoping that things that have some alpaca in it won't be troublesome for me, but I just loved it too much, so I couldn't say no, and I've been wanting one for forever. So that's Camilla Fiber Company. They're based out of Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from. So, love that skein. I don't know what this is going to be yet. The weight, what weight is this? It looks like a worsted weight. It doesn't say anywhere on the packaging, which, not the best idea, personally. Packaging designers, put your weights on your labels, but it looks like a worsted weight. I can't tell exactly for sure, but, so I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be yet. It might end up being a hat. I don't know. The next acquisition, this I believe, let me see if I can get the tag out of here. So I was going to participate in the Little Bobbins Knits Christmas Eve cast on, but then I just got too busy at home with other stuff with family. Sorry, my cat's there going crazy. I was going to participate in the Little Bobbins Knits Christmas Eve cast on, but I just got too busy with family stuff for Christmas, and I just wanted to enjoy my time with them, so that's what I did. But I got this originally to do that, and it's this purple with flecks of gold. Oh, it's so, so pretty. Love it. It's a Cascade Yarns Heritage something or the other. But yeah, so I got a skein of that. It is caked up, so I'm going to have to use it pretty soon so that it doesn't stretch out. The next few were gifts. So I'm not going to say their names because they didn't give me permission to do so, but the first one was this lovely, oh my gosh, these cats are driving me crazy. I'm going to have to, 1 second. Mika. Okay, sorry about that. All right, now you're gonna sit here. Will you just sit with me, please? Okay, looks like she's sitting. As I was saying, Cascade Yarns, hand paint or Heritage hand painted something. I can't remember exactly, but that's it. And I just really love that. Oh, I already mentioned that. I was talking about gifts. Sorry. Cats, distracting. Anyway, I won't mention names because I don't know if they want me to, but this is a fiber story yarn. It's like a light cloud blue with green mixed in. So beautiful. It's a DK weight yarn, 100% superwash merino. And there are, how many yards? 240 yards in each skein. So I think that this might get knit into baby things for my sister. I just like the color and I think it's really soft. Plus it's superwash, so she can put it in the washing machine too. So it might be like a sweater for an upcoming baby project. I don't know yet. We'll see. That's what I'm thinking right now. The next thing was a hand-dyed skein that someone sent me for Christmas. And it's called Son of Mars, fingering weight, superwash merino nylon, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 362 yards. Son of Mars. Skein. Really lovely. Thank you so much. You know who you are. This is beautiful. I don't know what this is going to be yet. Maybe a shawl. We'll see. I love it though. And finally, from Holland Handmade, where did I put the other? It's buried underneath my acquisitions. Holland Handmade, Mama to Abigail on Instagram. This beautiful skein from Andre Sue Knits called Puddle Jumper. So lovely. A cream color with flecks of green and blue and orange in it. So lovely. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards. So she sent me that along with this beautiful handmade bag. Piece of yarn on. Drawstring bag. So nice, and it's so well made too. It's just really, really high quality. Lined in like this awesome green polka dot fabric. So cute, love it. Thank you so much. This is just lovely. She has a podcast called Holland Handmade, and if you haven't checked it out, go look it up. It's great. And then finally, where did I put the other one? Sorry, digging around. Okay, so as luck would have it, I was researching yarn stores in the area close to where my parents live, and in Brentwood, Tennessee, there's this store called Bliss Yarns. That's where I got this skein right here. Bliss Yarns also happens to be one of only 2 retailers of Miss Babs yarn. Crazy, right? Out of all of the stores in the whole country, and the whole world even, I live right next to one that stocks Miss Babs yarn. Of course, I had to get a few skeins. So, well, a couple. The first one I got is the Yummy 2-ply fingering weight yarn. It's 100% superwash merino in the lily pad colorway. And it's this dark forest green color. This one's gonna be the Raven's Nest shawl whenever I get to it. I saw it and I think it's perfect for that pattern. Love this. There's a soft, soft halo to it also, which I just love. I think it's gonna be even better for the Raven's Nest shawl. Love this so much. So yeah, Miss Babs, Yummy 2-ply in the lily pad colorway. The second one is a much more Miss Babs kind of style in her speckly variegated yarns. And it's called Hot Shot. Isn't this amazing? So amazing. I love this so much. I think I'm gonna save this to use in an exploration station whenever I get to it. This is just, so I kind of want to center my color palette around this yarn for exploration station. I think it's just lovely. It's kind of like a creamy brownish yellow with burgundies, pinks, dark brown, black even in there. So lovely. And this again is also a yummy 2-ply, I believe. Oh no, this is a 3-ply fingering yarn. Love that so much. So that's the other one I got of Miss Babs yarn. Can't wait to knit with that. And I think for yarn acquisitions, that might be it. Sorry, I have my whole stash out here, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget anything. Yeah. Other acquisitions that are not yarn, but knitting related for Christmas. Hit myself in the face with that. Anyway, it's act like I've used a yarn swift before. I got a yarn swift from Knit Picks. This was a Christmas present from my mom. If you're in the market for a Knit Picks for a yarn swift, I think the Knit Picks one is great. I've used it a couple times already, and it's really quiet. Yeah, it's just a very smooth use. I think it's a great option. So if you're in the market for one, the one from Knit Picks I think is great. I also have their ball winder, which has worked just great since I've had it, so no complaints about it either. Yeah, so that's the yarn swift from Knit Picks. I also got some T-pins because your girl's been using push pins and a yoga mat. I mean, I'm still using the yoga mat, but I've been using push pins for blocking, so I finally got some T-pins for blocking things with. And what was the other? Is that it? I think it is. I mean, unless I'm counting. No. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm kind of running without notes today, guys, so I'm a little bit like, whew, and the cat's all running around. It's a little distracting. But anyway, that's it for acquisitions. I think I might, let's see, how many minutes have I been going here? For a while. I think I might, well, let me just mention some other things since I have it here in front of me. My best friend Paige, she got me this book called Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I've heard a lot about this. I've already read Tiny Beautiful Things, which was a wonderful book, and I've been meaning to read this. So she sent me this book as a Christmas present. Thank you so much, Paige. I've already started it. It's great so far. I've heard a lot about it, so I can't wait to kind of like dive in further. So I've only read, you know, maybe, I don't know, 30 pages or so. Yeah. But Wild by Cheryl Strayed. It's already a movie. Reese Witherspoon is in it, so you've probably seen it. So can't wait to read that. And other acquisitions. 50% off holiday chocolate, because I wish this was the only one I got. That's not true. I got like 4 bags of this stuff. Peppermint bark, Ghirardelli hot chocolate, because you know how it is. Anyway, this has gotten really weird at the end, you guys. Sorry. So I'm going to end this here and say thank you again for watching this. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I'm on Instagram all the time, so you can ask me there, or in the down bar below, you can leave a comment. If you have any suggestions too, please by all means. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next episode. I've got some really fun things planned, but because it hasn't all arrived in the mail yet, I can't exactly say what it is. So I will talk to you about that next time. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a really great start of your new year, and I hope you guys are enjoying all of your knitting and crafting goodness. Till next time, bye guys!